Hello and welcome to Marinsky March 2023, where every day in March we make a sausage recipe out of one of Adam and Stanley Marinsky's books. Last year we did home production of quality meats and sausage, which I think is one of the best sausage books out there still. It gives you the how and why behind what you're doing in sausage making. But this year we're doing recipes out of the new book, 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes, which is a gift to us sausage makers and meat enthusiasts. Adam and Stan have traveled across Europe and North America for the last 20 years compiling recipes, and they put it all into this jumbo book. What's even better is Stanley has sent me 5 copies to give away to you guys over the course of the month, and all you got to do to get qualified is leave a comment in the videos and I'll find you and I'll send you a copy if you're one of the lucky winners. So, without any further ado, let's get into 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes by Adam and Stanley Marinsky. Hello and welcome to another day of Marinsky March. And this day in March, we are embarking on the adventure of making Stadtwurst, an unknown sausage to me, uncharted territory, from page 267, hailing from Germany. Stadtwurst is listed as 2.222.2 in the German government publication Guides to Meats in Meat Products. Gotta get that book. This is a fine grind sausage. There's also a coarse grind Stadtwurst sausage. For example, Nürnberger Stadtwurst or Schleichenski. Although Stadtwurst translates into city sausage, this reason cannot be universally applied, as there are different meat and spice combinations in different regions of the country. So you can get city sausage in the country is what it sounds like. The common denominator is the diameter of the sausage, its ring shape, and materials, pork and beef, and the heating process. This sausage is usually hot smoked and boiled in water. There you go. This one has pork and beef, but just a very little amount of beef. It's only got 50 grams in a 1 kilogram batch, or 5%. This one's going to be a pretty good one. Nice, easy one to make, I think. It's got a little salt, cure, pepper, coriander, mace, and ginger, some on-point German spices. We're just going to grind it all through a 1/8 3mm plate, and then stuff it into 40mm casings, and we're going to make a ring, and we're going to smoke it and eat it. Sounds good. So here's this meat selection here. Got a little pork back fat, as you can see. There's that 50 grams of beef, and this lean pork. It's going to be very fatty sausage, 35% fat. Those ones can be tricky to smoke. Sometimes a lot of that fat can render out, so we better get a good mix on our sausage. Pop on my gloves, keep everything clean. And everything's nice and cold, right out of the freezer. I hope this one will be a bit of a challenge to get a firm texture. That's the goal, get a firm texture out of this. All right, very good. Time for our nice spices. Ooh, smells good. Mace is such a nice spice, I love it. Now, in the recipe book, it just says pepper. So typically, in a German sausage recipe, you would see white pepper over black pepper most of the time. But I used black pepper today. I don't know if that breaks the code, 2.222.2. But that's what we're going with. Mix that seasoning in real good. Then we'll add a little bit of water. It's pretty fatty. Time for a bit of water. Like a fancy bartender. Okay, I finally got it to absorb the water and get sticky here. The fat is kind of tacking up on my gloves. We're ready to stuff, so we'll go get the sausage stuffer. Okay, here comes a shot of Stadtwurst. We're going to form into a ring. The very high fat content sausage. I'm not too worried about how tight I get it because we're not going to link it. Okay. There it is, the big Stadtwurst worm. Okay, there we go, a Stadtwurst ring. I'll just get it hung up to start drying for an hour before we smoke it. Okay, the Stadtwurst has been hanging to dry with a couple candidates behind it there for an hour, so we'll get it loaded up into the smokehouse. All right, this is the first smoke for the smoker on sausages, so we're gonna pop these guys in here. I am eventually gonna get some sticks made up so that I can hang them and allow the air to circulate around them perfectly, but we'll just pop them in for their 1 hour smoking session. The Brunswick rolls awesome smoke. Okay, there we go. We'll take them out in 1 hour and get them into a pot of water. There's the Stadtwurst. Looks like it's taken on some smoke in the last hour. We'll pop it into that water, which I got preheated, ready to go, and bring it up to a fully cooked temperature. One last look at the Stadtwurst. In it goes. Okay, so we've been cooking the Stadtwurst at about 175 or 75 Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. That range for 45 minutes, like the book suggests. So I think I'm just gonna pull it out of there. And I'm sure at that temperature for that amount of time, it is fully cooked, so I'm not gonna probe it because I'm afraid we will lose our juices if we do that. There we go. There is the Stadtwurst. I'm gonna give it a little cold water rinse and pop it in the cooler to cool right down. Okay, time to dive into our Stadtwurst. I let it sit overnight because I was hoping the bloom would come back. I hung it in the cooler. It didn't really come back. It's a little paler and opaque than what you would get out of a typical smoked sausage. So there we go. That's kind of what it looks like. It still looks quite yummy, but I maybe would have got a little more smoke on it if I was doing it myself. But maybe this is what it is supposed to be like traditionally. A very, very faint, light smoke is what I anticipate. So let's see if I'm correct. Okay, I also anticipate that our Stadtwurst is going to be quite creamy. It's very high fat content, so how to go about it. Okay, cut it down here and let you guys have a look. It's very soft. Looks a little fatty. There you go. We got a good look at it. It looks like it's a little bit soft. Well, it's not bad. It's firm for how much fat is in it, that's for sure. But it's on the higher end. Looks pretty yummy though. Okay, I'm hoping that the casing kind of crisped up a bit last night whilst air drying in the cooler. But sometimes when you poach them and they come out, it's often quite rubbery. But here we go, Stadtwurst. Casing snapped nice. Right away, it's coating my mouth with that back fat, which isn't not undesirable, but you definitely know it's a very fatty sausage. No smoke, not very much. It's very, very subtle on this one, but the spices are nice. They're nice and mild. I like the flavor of the sausage. It's just a little different technique-wise than what I'm used to or what I make in the shop here. Most of my sausages have 15% fat. This has 35 to 40, which is quite high. But I am impressed with the amount of fat we have in there, how good the bind is. It's very soft, but it still all holds together. It's sliceable. So, overall, I think the Stadtwurst is pretty good. I would smoke it longer if I was to do it again. But it's fun making something different. I hope you guys had fun watching it. If you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And we'll make another video tomorrow, every day in March, from Marinsky March, all March long. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.